Hello friends, it's April with Homesteading in the City, and today I want to just welcome you to Kitchen Chats. And Kitchen Chats is where we just hang out in the kitchen and we cook together and we have a little chat here and there. So today I'm going to make Charmoula chicken with flatbread, and you're not going to get as much of the detail in the recipe because we have the recipes on our website, and so I'll post the links in the descriptions. So let's get started on our chicken. We're going to make the Charmoula sauce, and I actually already have the greens, the herbs that we're going to put in it. We have some parsley, some cilantro, and some mint. All right, let me grab my bowl because we're going to put it all in a food processor. The reason why I wanted to start off with this recipe is because I've already made this recipe in front of a camera before, but it was during the pandemic. And one of the things one of my good friends and I were trying to do to stay connected was we decided to cook a meal together through FaceTime. So she got all the ingredients she needed, I got the ingredients I needed, and we cooked together on FaceTime. It was a little bit of a different experience, that's for sure. But it was kind of fun, especially when you haven't gotten a chance to see people in a long time. All right, I put the herbs in, and I have a few cloves of garlic that we're gonna pop in there as well. And then lemon juice is going in. And then I have some seasonings. So we have some cumin, some smoked paprika, salt, and Aleppo pepper. Now, if you can't find Aleppo pepper, you can also use some ancho chili pepper. Ancho chili powder, yeah. And that'll substitute just fine. All right. So I'm going to take this over here, and I may bring you with me. Hold on. Let's see if you can come with me while we get our olive oil. I'm going to put a little olive oil in there as well. Pardon my cluttered counter. This is actually my kitchen, so. And we're going to need a little more olive oil. So about half a cup more will go into there. And you might hear my cat in the background too. So that's Cleo. Anyway, let me start this. We're going to start blending that up. And as it's going, I'm going to put in a little bit more. Let it go for a little while. All right, I think we're looking good. Let me just do a little bit more of a pulse, a little bit more. All right, let me set you down. Set you back down over here. Okay. Oops. I think I spilled some. No. I'll tilt you. So you can see the Charmoula sauce. It is so flavorful, so packed with herbs, and these spices blend so well together. It's a really good dish. Let me wipe this up here. All right, and so now all we're going to do, I have about 2.5 pounds of chicken thighs, and you really do need to use chicken thighs for this because we're gonna have this in the broiler, and it's gonna be on a really high heat. And if you use a white meat chicken, it will dry out. Let me tell you, it won't be good. I've tried it. Don't make the same mistakes I did. All right, we're gonna put about half of that into the chicken. We're gonna reserve some because we're gonna use this sauce later too. All right, I'm gonna seal that up and just kind of move it around so it can get all saucy. I'm gonna set this aside. And as I was saying, I was cooking this with my friend over FaceTime. She doesn't cook quite as much, but her then boyfriend, now husband, was with her. He had to go out to the store a couple of times while they were working on it. But I remember once we were done cooking, we kind of hung up the FaceTime and went our separate ways so we could eat. And he texted me later and he said, "Thanks for cooking that meal." He said, "I felt like you kind of brought it together there." So I thought that was funny. But they're married now and about to have a baby. So we've got the chicken. It's gonna marinate just for a little bit in our Charmoula sauce. I have the oven preheating onto a high broil, and we placed our rack on one of the top levels because this is going to be really close to the heat. So this is one of those recipes where you might just need to accept the fact that your smoke alarm might go off. So more on that a little bit later. But now it's time for us to make our flatbread. So I'm gonna bring you over here with me. Now we're going to make our flatbread. Also, the flatbread recipe is on our website, homesteadinthecity.com. I'll put the direct links down. I've already mixed it together, made the dough, and have been letting it sit for at least 40 minutes so it can puff up, rise a bit, and we're going to roll these out. This will make 10 flatbreads for us. So, and before I start that, I've got a cast iron skillet. We're going to put that on a medium heat and just let that get warm. So I like to use, and we're going to get a little more flour too. Put a little more flour onto our board here. And we're going to flour this. For flatbreads and tortillas, I like to use a little, one of these thick dowel rods. And I think that works as nice, if not nicer, than a rolling pin. We're going to say nicer. I don't know about you. You might be really good at baking, good at making bread. You might be good with shapes. I am terrible with getting perfectly round flatbread, as you can see. Mine is not round at all. But that's okay. We don't have to be perfect. We just care about how it tastes, right? I'm gonna set this one to the side while our pan keeps heating and do another one. And so again, with the pandemic, it was just very interesting, all the creative ways we found to connect with each other since we didn't have our normal outlets, had to keep our distance. And that same friend that I cooked with over FaceTime, one time, separate time, I was doing a porch drop-off. I brought her something, and she's not a particularly huggy person, affectionate person in that way. I'm more of that, even though a lot of people might not know that, but I think I think physical touch is one of my love languages. It's just that I'm really sensitive to if other people don't want to be hugged or don't want to be touched. I don't want to hurt anyone or upset anyone in any way, so I'm always careful. You have some people that are huggers, they don't care if anybody else is a hugger or not. They don't care. They will hug you no matter what. But I try to be sensitive to it. But plus, whenever people don't reciprocate affection, it really hurts my feelings. I try not to show it, but it does. So that's probably why I'm not quite as openly affectionate. But anyway, this friend, because I don't think we'd actually seen each other in a while, during the pandemic, she actually grabbed me up and hugged me. And so we were kind of in this opposite situation where I was a little bit appalled and she was hugging. And so I think the pandemic just brought out a lot of different things in all of us. And so that was one of those situations where I was like, I internally did not know what to do. Okay, so I'm going to take this and we're going to put that onto our cast iron, and it's still heating up, so I'm going to roll out another one, and then I will show you what we're doing, what we're going to do with the flatbread, how long to leave them on the cast iron and whatnot. So anyway, love languages. Do you believe in love languages? What's your love language? I think my main one is quality time, though, I would say. Because time is something that no matter who you are, where you come from, we're all allotted the same amount of hours in a day. So to give up your time for somebody really does mean a lot. Now, I also think food is a love language. It's not one of the official love languages, but it is, because I think when you make a meal for somebody, feed somebody, what you're saying to that person is, I want to keep you alive. I care about you staying alive and eating and being nourished, unless you poison that meal, and then maybe that's not caring, but a non-poisonous meal says, I love you. All right, let's see if you can see this flatbread right here, and it's starting to puff up a little bit. Let's see, pull you back right there. There we go. And so our flatbread's starting to puff up. The first one is never the best. But let me get a towel. I'm going to get a kitchen towel, and we're going to put our breads in there. I need a wider angle lens so we can see each other, so you can see everything that's going on. Or maybe not. Maybe I don't want you to see this much of my kitchen. But anyway. So, where was I? What were some of the ways that you connected with people whenever you could not traditionally connect with them? I would like to know. I'm curious. People got creative, that's for sure. I know homesteading in the city was something that was kind of birthed out of the pandemic. I was already starting to get more interested in gardening, and I was already into cooking and cooking from scratch. But it was during that time that I connected with some of my friends about it, and I know Zach and I really have committed ourselves to it and have been working on more of the urban homesteading stuff. And we just thought during the pandemic, man, we would really be set if we already had this stuff in place. If we already had the space, if we had if we have the gardens. I know Zach's going to get chickens, and if we could control our supply chain a little bit more. That was something that really that we really started to think about during that time. And so we just decided to experiment with it, and it's kind of become morphed into many different things than what we even originally thought. And so that's been the fun part. Here's another one. Let's pop that little bread on there. Now it's starting to sizzle a little more because our pan is hotter. I was impatient before. This one I did not roll out very evenly. We have some thin parts and some thicker parts. So part of it is going to cook faster. I really should use tongs, but again, remember I said I'm impatient? Anyway, I've been thinking about self-sufficiency. And so a lot of people that get into the homesteading movement and all that, some people want to be really self-sufficient, where all they rely on is themselves. And I was thinking that true self-sufficiency, like where it's just me and I provide all of my own needs and take care of everything, I don't think true self-sufficiency in that sense works. I think really that whole concept is a lie, because really we're designed to need each other. And so whenever I think about self-sufficiency, I think about it in a community sense. So I would rather not have to rely on big corporations or governments, because there's just some stuff I can't do and I'm not going to do. Like I mentioned, Zach's thinking of getting chickens, or he's working on it. I probably will not get chickens or take care of any animals in that sense. But there's a lot of other stuff that I can do. And so when you have some people doing some jobs, some people doing others, but you're in a community that's based in trust and cooperation, it can really work out and just create a better life for all of us. So I personally, and I'm not against having stores, grocery stores. It's nice to be able to go somewhere like Costco or even Walmart, especially if there's something in the middle of the night that you need. Like, all those things are conveniences, but maybe we rely on them too much. And so it's also things like this, like being able to cook your own food, make sauces from scratch. All of that are nice, because then you can control your ingredients, you know what's going in there, and it just makes for a healthier experience. Now these flatbreads are really going. Check them out. Do you see that? The glare isn't quite as bad. Look at that. Oop, I'm probably going to get it too hot now. Here we go. That's starting to be a nice looking flatbread right there. We've got enough flatbreads for now. So now let's move on to the chicken portion of the evening. Okay. I think I'm going to take you over here. Our chicken has been soaking in the sauce. Oh, I turned on the fan already. We'll turn that fan on in a bit. Now you can put these through skewers if you'd like. You definitely want to soak the skewers if you're using wooden skewers, because they will catch fire if you're not careful. Because we've got this oven up at 500 degrees right now. You pretty much want it about as hot as you can get it. But instead of doing skewers, I'm just laying them out on the pan. And that saves me some time, effort, work, product, all those things. But I do understand food on a stick is just fun. So if you want chicken on a stick, go for it. Years ago, I had a party with some friends and we decided to make that the theme. And everyone brought food that was on a stick. I think I made corn dogs for that party. I can't remember. I think somebody did fruit skewers. Might have had a caprese salad on skewers going on. But yeah, you can put a lot of stuff on sticks. Then you can make your desserts. You can have popsicles. Do you know of any other desserts on sticks? I don't know. But if you know of another dessert on a stick that's not a lollipop or a popsicle, let me know. Okay. We got our chicken. Just gonna rinse that. Pop this over in the garbage. Alright, and this guy's gonna go in the oven. Again, we're pretty close to the top. Probably am gonna turn that downdraft on because it'll get a little smoky in a bit. So, I want to set this for about 6 minutes. And then after the 6 minutes are up, we're gonna flip these guys and put them in for 6 more minutes. So let me go ahead and turn on my downdraft and I'll be back in a second. Our chicken is almost done and I'm finishing up the last bit of flatbread. I rolled out some other ones. Back to talking about self-sufficiency, community, all that, and why we started homesteading in the city. I know one of the things that we've gotten to do and we want to do even more of is just connect more with our community, put in more community gardens, meet more people from the neighborhood. I know Zach has done a really good job with that. We have monthly garden chats in person. And so if you're in our area, in the Columbia, KC, West Columbia, South Carolina area, you should stop by for one of those in-person events. We have that information on our website, homesteadinthecity.com, or if you don't want to type all that in, hitc.city. But it has been fun, I know, getting to know other people in the area who are passionate about gardening or those that are just learning. We've had all kind of folks stop by. We got to help with a community orchard over in our area at Mount Tabor Lutheran Church just the other weekend, and so we planted blueberries, some elderberry trees. I think there were some blackberries, there were some other things coming in, but it's going to be really cool to see that progress. But we did a lot of mulching, which we are no strangers to the mulch, that's for sure. And then several other people came out for that, and it was just a fun time. And I'm looking forward to see the progress, to see how that area serves the community as well. And hopefully I can get some blueberries, because that is something I have not been able to get to grow over here yet. I keep trying to take blueberries though that my grandfather had grown, that were on his property, and every time I've tried to propagate, they've not done so hot over here. So I might have to start with new plants. We'll see. That's another question. Do you have any heirloom plants? Any plants that have been in the family, that have been propagated over and over, or something that you've had for a long time? I know I have an aloe plant that has just grown and grown and has been split up to multiple plants. But aloe, it's hard to kill aloe. I mean, I know some people that have done it, but And I think I've killed it too before. So it's hard to do, but not impossible. All right, I think our chicken's ready. Let me check on it. Oh yeah. I think it is. Check that out right there. There's our Charmoula chicken. I think we can turn off the oven and we can turn off our downdraft. And this is the last of the flatbread. So I'm just gonna try to flip this guy and get him finished. And while we're doing that, let me get a plate. Grab a plate here. I'm gonna grab a flatbread. And I'm gonna get some feta cheese because feta goes great with this. And here we are. We got the feta. Flip that one. Let that go a little bit longer. Or my tongs. Okay. I think I just want to tear a piece of this off right here. And I'm going to go in, make sure, oh yeah, we're cooked through. We're cooked through, we're looking good. I like it when they get a little crispy too. Here's a piece. There's a piece there that I think I like. Gonna flip that. And then we'll spoon a little bit of our extra sauce. Remember our extra sauce? This is where it comes in handy. Let me find a good spoon. Here's one right behind me. All right, so I'm gonna put a little extra sauce on it. And then we'll put a little bit of feta. We're very chunky up here at the top. So I'm just gonna crumble some of that on top, some of that there. I'm gonna pull this flatbread off while I'm at it. Turn that off. This is what it's like to hang out and eat with me. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to come in this way. It's dripping down my hand. That's when you know it's good. When you got the drip up, yep. But anyway, this is a delicious meal to make. Hopefully you can get a couple of meals out of it. Or invite your friends over to help you make the flatbread, make the chicken. It's so much more fun with friends, like we were talking about with community. So, especially when you're having to roll out all of these guys, a little bit of help goes a long way. But take some time to make something delicious and make it with friends. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you were here in my kitchen. I will hopefully see you next time.